Today, we are gathered to celebrate the graduation of the Senior Leader Course, Class 25-002. For the past 3 weeks, these NCOs have actively applied essential leadership skills, including counseling, mentoring, Army writing, critical thinking, and problem solving. The intense training has equipped them with the critical foundational knowledge necessary for effective leadership as enlisted senior leaders in the Army and in National Guard recruiting and retention. The guest speaker for today's ceremony is Sergeant Major Eric Sabater. Sergeant Major Eric Sabater enlisted in the New York Army National Guard on July 26, 2001. His first day on active duty was September 11, 2001, when his unit, Bravo Company, 1st of the 105th Infantry, was activated to respond to the attacks of the World Trade Center at Ground Zero. Following his service at Ground Zero, Sergeant Major Sabater attended basic training, graduating from both infantry school and airborne school. Throughout his career, Sergeant Major Sabater held various assignments, including infantry sergeant in the 105th Infantry and the 69th Infantry Regiments, senior military instructor at Fordham University Reserve Officers Training Corps, instructor for the 79 Tango conversion course at the National Guard Bureau Profession Education Center, operations NCOIC for Task Force Wolfhound during the COVID-19 pandemic, and recruiting section chief for Detachment 4 Bronx Alpha Company. He is currently serving as the New York Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion Operations Sergeant Major. His awards include, but are not limited to, the Meritorious Service Medal and Defense of Liberty Medal with the World Trade Center device. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major Sabater.
Good morning, leaders. Congratulations. As a team of leaders, you've demonstrated the ability to make your individual recruiting mission and have shown the potential to lead recruiting and retention non-commissioned officers. But there's a problem. Are the skills that you've used to make that individual mission able to translate into being a leader of RRNCOs? Not unless you combine it with one thing. They mentioned going to the World Trade Center during 9/11. I was a brand new private, and I was there, and I got there around 12 o'clock in the afternoon on 9/11, and as soldiers were showing up to kind of help out at Ground Zero, eventually the first sergeant started taking roll call, and what we noticed is there were way more people there that were supposed to be there. There were soldiers that hadn't come to drill in a couple of months, right? There were soldiers that had ETS and weren't even in the military anymore. Why did they show up? Because they're passionate about being soldiers and they wanted to help. The RNCOs that are on your team, when you lead that team, they're also passionate about being soldiers. As their leader, will you match that passion? Being a leader of RNCOs, it's too hard not to be passionate about the job. In our job as a leader of RNCOs, there are too many ups and downs. You have to have grit and perseverance to overcome some of the devastating months that we have as leader of RNCOs. If your team is on a donut, you know you go from hero to zero really, really quick. We find that what ends up happening is that squared away mission-making RRNCOs sometimes can't bridge that gap of being leaders of RRNCOs. So what are you passionate about? I'll tell you what I'm passionate about. I love, love, love seeing my RRNCOs getting promoted. I've been there for Sergeant First Class Martinez getting promoted. I've been lucky enough to have 3 of my RNCOs become a first sergeant, a master sergeant, and also Master Sergeant Pagan, who was in the back, who got promoted last year. Okay, so you found your passion. You found the reason why you get up in the morning, even when your team is on a donut. Now what? How do we lead a team of RRNCOs? So, 2 tips. Number one, you set the culture. As a leader of all our NCOs, if you, the leader, have work ethic, then your team has work ethic. If you, the leader, take care of your RSP warriors, your team will take care of the RSP warriors. If you, the leader, grind early in the year to make that mission early, your team will make mission early. Number two, the best idea in the room wins. Your RRNCOs are passionate about being soldiers, and they want the team to win. So they're going to challenge your ideas. Your team won't just do it your way because you're the leader. As the leader, your ideas have to be able to undergo the scrutiny of passionate, mission-making RRNCOs. So, they say that modern soldiers always want to know the why behind things. And it makes me think about this quote from General Baron von Steuben. He's the guy that wrote the Blue Book in the American Revolution back in the days. So he's there training the colonial soldiers, and they ask him about it. What is it like to deal with the Americans? And General Baron von Steuben, he says this, something like, he says, the European soldier, you tell him what to do and he does it. The American soldier, you have to tell him why he should do it, and then he does it. This was in like 1776 or something. Okay, so having soldiers challenge your ideas is nothing new. And as a leader, you have to be prepared for that. In fact, as a leader, if you match your soldiers' passion, you will be providing them with what they deserve. Outstanding leadership. Thank you.
Sergeant Major Sabater, thank you for your time to share your wisdom.